Yeah.
The way that we can talk about exercising availability of muscle sports and all these things is counteracting to the actual training of men. In other words, males train differently because they have recognized they are more sensitive cerebrally, more sensitive, and more creative cerebrally than females. Females tend to be a bit more aggressive, a little more stronger, and a little more enduring than some males. So in that regard, how much damage has been done to the society of families by rearing children in these ways?
Did you all hear that question? How much damage has been done to families and to society by rearing men? I say by not teaching them. By not teaching them at all. I mean, the strongest men, here's the story. You all know the story of Sayyidina Ali. The Muslims know the story. There's a story of one of the great figures in Islam, Sayyidina Ali, who is known on one hand to be this incredible warrior with the sword, the Zulfiqar, that could cut through the midsection of a person, right? Wasn't that the truth? I mean, isn't that what they say about it? But one of the most famous stories about him is the time when he was in battle and he raised his sword and the man that he was about to strike with the sword spat on him, and Sayyidina Ali dropped his sword because he became angry at the man, and he was not fighting out of his personal anger, and his personal anger came into it. How did he know he was angry, and how did he respond, and how did he manage to do that particular thing? It's not by being in some idea about him being, a fighter for justice and truth. It was not by being in some ideal and idea abstracted of being a martyr for this or that. No, it was by being present, by recognizing, I feel angry, and therefore, what do? I do not strike this man in anger. That's like great. At the edge of action, not being in control of his anger, managing his being. So the strongest men are the men who feel. We've been led to believe that feeling is a feminine thing. Being too emotional is something that women do, and it's one of their weaknesses. Rather than believing that we can also be sensitive and have feeling and to be physically strong and to be strong in all the ways we understand ordinarily to be strong in the world. And I tell you, this men I have seen who are the strongest men personally that I would attribute as being the strongest men in the world, both in terms of their ability to act in the world and to be of service and to be of service of other people. They're the men closest to their mothers. And they are men who have feeling. But we're not trained on how to be feeling. We're trained to be otherwise. We're trained to be strong is to be without feeling. And women are learning it more and more. There are women who are now learning to abstract themselves as much as men and to live outside of their bodies. Women generally have softer bodies. A softer body generally has more sensation. Generally. But a lot of women who have soft bodies also develop and shut down their nervous system, so their sensation gets lost. And then when the sensation is lost, the nervous system is shut down, then the physiology begins to follow. The physiology follows in terms of there not being the dynamic fire. So they start gaining weight, they lose sensation, et cetera, et cetera. So then the physiology follows. But even women suffer from lack of feeling nowadays. Am I making sense? Yes.